Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about all things real estate in Dubai. So first things first, just so you don't feel like you're wasting your time, who is this video intended for? Well, the type of person watching this video might be yourself who is looking to diversify your portfolio, start investing in the Dubai market. Maybe you're from Europe, maybe you're from the UK, maybe you're in Dubai and this is your first time looking at investing. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because there's quite a common theme with the clients that I'm personally dealing with. And a lot of these people are UK investors or European investors sort of thinking about getting into the Dubai market. So I wanted to clear a few things up in this video and give you reassurance why it's good, so that you actually have answers to those unanswered questions, because I'm sure there are a lot of them. But first things first, guys, I want you to like and subscribe the video because it's really helping grow in this channel, and I will feed you as much information as humanly possible to make sure that you're always making the right decisions. And if you ever want to book in a call, all you need to do is follow the link to my Calendly link below. So before I start this video officially, I want to tell you quickly why I got into real estate. And it's not going to be a long-winded sob story, but I'll tell you the honest truth. I take passion in what I do when it comes to helping people. I always have done. I've been an online coach, I've been a fitness trainer, I've been a videographer, I've done all sorts of different activities throughout my life. Now, the reason I became a real estate agent here in Dubai is because it gives me the opportunity to be able to genuinely change people's lives. And what I mean by that is people with cash sitting in the bank from the UK, very unsure about what to do, or other people around the world, they're looking for new investments where they can genuinely make some real money, some money that they can actually live off, not these 2-3% return on investments, and actually helping people strategically invest their money, their hard-earned money, into projects that are bringing them a return, making them a lot of profit, better than anywhere else in the world right now. So what I like to take pride in is genuinely helping people step by step, because listen, every industry right now that you try to get into, it looks saturated. You know, there's just bullshit, loads of people trying to say, I can help you achieve this and do this. Well, you know what? I'm genuinely doing it. Every single day I'm working with clients, I'm making them get a step closer to securing some sort of financial freedom in terms of property and building them world-class assets in their portfolio. Okay, so we're gonna first of all talk about the market. So what's going on with the market right now? So there was a massive increase in the market in 2022. So since COVID, the markets in most countries really did jump. You know, this was due to a massive influx of cash coming from the governments and regular people getting access to a lot more money than they used to, which obviously drove the house prices up. And then it gave people the ability, because they had more time, to move around and look at different opportunities on the market. Now in Dubai, there's been a few different factors to why the market has also boomed, and a few of them have obviously been influenced by the war and all that kind of stuff, and you know, a massive cash influx coming from these other countries such as Ukraine and Russia. How has that affected the market? Well, what it's done in a lot of the popular areas such as beachfront or waterfront properties, it's really elevated the prices, because all of a sudden all of this cash has just came to the city, and then properties are getting soaked up by all of these rich investors, meaning that the demand is actually not in line with the supply. You know, demand and supply, you know how it works. So now obviously many developers have came up with all these brand new projects, and they're introducing a lot more new developments to the city, and it's actually exciting. So what's the market going to look like in 2023? Well, guys, we're not seeing anything slow down as of yet. We're still seeing off-plan developments selling out in a matter of hours. We're seeing properties on the beachfront doubling in price since people have bought them. The market is not slowing down for anybody. And you've got to remember, the reasons market slows down is because people are not buying, because mortgage rates are going up, interest rates are going up, and that's obviously acceptable, all right? But here in Dubai, 70% of the properties that are being bought in cash. What does that mean? It means that we're not getting affected by interest rates compared to anywhere else in the world. But that also means that the economy is growing stronger because there's more cash coming into the city. And of course, it means more people are going to visit, and the more tourists and the more tourism, and all these other factors are going to contribute to a strong growing economy. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into all of these facts and figures and all that kind of stuff, because that's not how I'm going to talk to you today, guys. I'm going to give you the honest truth based on real life questions that I'm getting asked by genuine investors from the UK, from Europe, from Dubai, so that you are now clear on what you need to do. All right, so you're a first-time investor looking to invest. What is it you're trying to achieve? This is the first question you need to ask yourself, because I'm going to give you some different scenarios in which people are making money in the Dubai market right now. So we're going to start with a very common one right now, one that's becoming extremely popular and very profitable at the same time, and that's buying and renovating in the villa market. Now, How is this possible? So the first thing we need to look at when we explore this specific market is which villa communities are performing the best. Now, when you're looking at these communities, you need to look where they're located. Now, this is something I can help you with in more depth, but I'll give you a few off the top of my head, which are Palm Jumeirah, Jumeirah Islands, Emirates Hills, and the Springs. Now, these are all well-established communities located relatively close to the cities, like Marina, for example. Now, what this means is that there are old villas there, you know, the old Arabic yellow style, you know, the types that were very, very big, you know, G+2 in some cases, with huge plot sizes. But obviously that's not sort of the modern day of living, closed off kitchens and all that, that's not a thing anymore. Or it appeals to very certain cultures. Now what you've got to realize is that when Europeans and rich investors coming over here, they want that nice big open plan, big kitchens, you know, big open pane glasses, swimming pool, infinity pools, all those kinds of things. So how do you get into this market? So the first thing is you need to look at these communities, and of course that's something, like I just said, I can help you with. And then what we need to do, we need to find deals that are not necessarily just distressed, because to be honest, there are not many distressed deals on the market, because you know anyone knows that it's easy to sell a property right now in these areas. But you need to find a property that maybe needs a lot of work doing to it. So the first thing you do is look at it, source the deal, find the deal, negotiate. And once you've negotiated and got a good price, then of course we can get expert contractors in. Depending on where you are, you know, you can find contractors that specialize in that area. For example, the Palm Jumeirah, they'll come in, do a huge renovation job, and then make the villa top quality. And guys, some of these are selling. For example, I'll tell you one exactly right now. There was a garden home bought for around 20 million dirhams. Within 6 months, they were able to turn it around and create a very luxury European finishing, Italian design, Italian furniture. This was put back on the market after spending around 5 or 6 million dirhams on it. I haven't got the exact figures, so we're going to talk thereabouts. So in total, the build cost and the purchase price was around 26 million dirhams. The property was resold within 3 months for 36 million dirhams. That's a 10 million dirhams profit, around 2 million pounds. Can't work it out what it is in dollars, but maybe 2.5 million US dollars within less than a year. Now that are just figures off the top of my head on a project that I've seen happen. And guys, this is happening all the time. So what's another type of investment if your budgets are not so cash heavy required, such as off-plan developments? So if we look at the off-plan market, it's another very fruitful market to get into. And of course, if you've not got the budget to be putting down huge down payments, then there is something for everybody. Now, what I say to my investors is your goal cash flow? If your goal is cash flow, then what I would suggest that you do is look in one of the areas outside of the main city, such as JVC, Arjan, or even a little bit further out. All these kinds of areas, they're generally cheaper for the first barrier of entry to get into as your first investment. When I say cheaper, you can get a property for a studio around £140,000 or even from £120,000. So these opportunities, they're not going to appreciate an insane amount of money when they are built because of the area and the location, but what they will do is generate a very, very profitable cash flow. I mean, between 7 and 9%, sometimes upwards of 9% if you get a good deal upon launch. And this is a very good option for somebody who's looking as a first-time investment into the Dubai market. Now, if you are looking at spending a little bit more, then I highly recommend that you go into the villa market in the off-plan sector as well, because a lot of people, what they're doing, now they're buying these properties, following the payment plan accordingly. Now, because the villa market is still very in demand, once these properties are ready, let's say the property is ready in 2025, they'll hold on to this, and then what are they going to do? They're going to either rent it out and make a huge return on investment with cash flow, but a lot of people, they generally just hold on to them and flip them. So when they flip them, by the time they're ready, the sacrifice was that you had to wait 2 years, you know? You had to wait 2 years for your villa to be ready, but now you're profiting between 20 and even up to 100% more from when you purchased it off plan. So there are your two options off plan. Obviously you can buy apartments in areas with beachfront access as well. These are very good for appreciation and also very good for cash flow. However, they do come with a little bit of a hefty price tag. Now usually you're looking at around between 500 and 600 Great British pounds as sort of a starting point as a barrier to entry for a studio, for example. Which, yes, it is expensive, but because of the limited access to beachfront properties in the place like Dubai, well, the market's that good right now that they can charge these kinds of prices. And then, of course, you can buy a property generally that's ready right now. And then obviously, if you're a cash buyer, you can usually negotiate a little bit. and get a good property for a good price and start renting it out. In my opinion, I would buy a property in somewhere like JBR or the Marina that needs some renovation work doing to it, spend maybe 100,000 dirhams, 200,000 dirhams, do some small modifications. I'm not talking about structural redesign. I just mean, make sure everything's looking good, put up some feature walls maybe, furnish it nice and well, and then you can rent it out short term. And because of the area locations, such as JBR or the Marina, you'll generally find that you can actually really cash in on the return on investment. But for this particular way, you need to have the cash ready to invest. Alternatively, you could get a mortgage. Now, as a non-resident, you can get mortgages. It's generally pretty easy if you've got a good track record with your company or as an individual on a salary. But it just means that you can only usually get between 50 and 60% as a non-resident mortgage. And generally the prices are pretty high to get one of those mortgages. Again, there is another alternative, and that's to become a resident. There are many benefits to becoming a resident. What I would suggest at some point, if you really wanted to take this market seriously, you come to Dubai, you set a business up, you start generating some income and putting income into the business account. Now, once you've obviously got that, you can go to the bank, you can get a full residency mortgage between 70 and 80% with generally lower interest rates. So listen guys, there are so many options on the market right now. It just depends what the financial situation for yourself is and what your financial goals are. Now that's obviously what we do. We obviously help build financial plans step by step in order for you to make sure that you're making an informed decision without just guessing what you think is right. For example, if you're a high net worth individual looking for a big cash investment, then I would highly suggest going for the villa renovations. If you're a first entry point investor, then I suggest that you look at one of the off-plan developments in areas slightly outside of the city, because this way you can start generating some cash flow and it will appreciate, just not as much as a beachfront property. Which again, if you're sort of a mid-term investor, then I would suggest either buying a ready property, renovating it and either reselling or renting it out short term. Alternatively, again, you could buy something off plan in one of the beachfront developments, wait a couple of years and either use it as a cash flow opportunity or resell it, make profit. So listen guys, I'm not going to bore you anymore. I hope that you've learned something from this video. For you first time investors here in the Dubai market, if you have any questions, leave them down below, or if you want to book in a call, my Calendly link is in the description. Take care guys, see you soon.